Hello YouTube, it is me, Animaniac Max again, and I figured I would discuss this topic that I feel needs to be discussed as I feel very passionate about it. And that topic today is scapegoating. So, reason why I discuss scapegoating today is because I feel this has to be addressed as we're all so caught up in illusion, especially by the media and whatnot. So, scapegoating has always been a thing ever since its first inception of the word in practice, way back when. So, what really stings about scapegoating is that it draws away. It's basically a situation happens and one tries to divert the situation by pinning the blame on something or someone as a way to deflect from the actual issue itself. Now, this already has so many flaws because it's not getting to the actual truth, and it creates more wasted time that can be dedicated to finding the real purpose and solving the issue or getting rid of said issue. With this basic concept now discussed, I will now provide examples and a further backing as to why scapegoating needs to be called out and needs to be stopped. Now, with this basic concept, I now go into why it needs to be stopped. Scapegoating has a lot of unneeded drama that can be caused because if you're deflecting it on something, people are going to now find every little thing to pick about this particular issue. A great example is metal music causing someone to do disgusting behavior. Now, you may have heard of this disgusting user that no one should really be talking about, but I'm just going to use it for example. Kuro the Wolf, he was a zoo sadist who sexually abused animals, specifically his dog. And no one knew about it till Telegram message leaks came out that he was doing this kind of shit. But when he was confronted with this issue, he simply tried to blame metal music for, well, sexually abusing his dog. Now, obviously, a lot of any reasonable person, including myself, who does listen to metal music on occasion, I'm a pretty diverse listener either way, but anyway, any good person will tell you that that kind of music does not cause someone to behave that way. Because here's the thing, Kuro himself knew he was doing these disgusting things and was doing it as a way to divert the blame. Case in point, I will play a quick clip from a podcast right now that someone made.
Okay, I just want to clarify something before I continue with rolling these clips. The person who said that metal music ended up causing the sexual abuse in question was actually another zoophile named Woof, Demon from Cuba. But in this same tweet in question, Kuro the Wolf is mentioned as a zoo sadist by several users. So I hope that this clarification helps clear any questions or confusions, as you probably may have went to go look this up, but hey, I just figured I'd say it now. Quick little warning, there is going to be very upsetting topics that are going to be talked about, and I will censor them to make sure that YouTube doesn't get too upset with these. However, if you're not comfortable hearing those topics in question being discussed, I suggest skipping to a later part of the video where I discuss the next topic. But without further ado, here are those clips I'm going to show, so sit back and feel free to listen.
However, seeing the real juicy shack meat of this picture is actually the top one. Hello, I got a puppy and he is now 6 months old. The pictures below are when I first got him, but I was wondering, when can I have sex with him? He has a sex. I don't want to harm him, so how old does he have to be ready for
and zoo sadists operating within the furry fandom. The user, who was also a zoophile, leaked incriminating video, photos and chat logs while directing people to the Zoo Sadist Evidence Group on Telegram, which no longer exists. Among the high-profile individuals to be exposed in this Twitter post was Ruben Marrero Pernas, or Wolf, nicknamed the Demon from Cuba. After sparking protests that called for his arrest in Cuba, Wolf released an apology in which he blamed heavy metal music for making him sexually abuse animals.
It's an apology where Wolf says that metal music made him dogs to death. So I was going to read through that. I don't know.
Now, we all know that it's pretty easy to deflect the blame to a specific topic because, let's be real here, any good person will tell you that metal music does not cause people to behave in such a manner, especially folks who know what they are doing. And my friend and I discussed this particular example and have found that, and we have agreed that if we're like, oh, what kind of song did you listen to? And literally, if you look up the meaning of that song, even with that, yeah, you're full of it. That's not the excuse. That does not fly. Because, for all I know, this person, with how he is acting, is behaving this way to gain attention, which is rather telling, and just shows that it's best to stay away from people like that, who are willing to do anything to gain attention. Now, with the next example I'm going to use, and this is really recent, family members of the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting ended up suing Bushmaster, the maker of the AR-15 that the perpetrator used to gun down students, and other staff members ended up blaming Bushmaster, claiming that their weapon ended up killing their family. Now, let's take a quick moment to discuss this. They're saying their weapon caused the students to die. Well, on the surface, oh, that's terrible, they need to face action. But if we look further at the one issue, the one person who did it, this person had Asperger's. He had mental disabilities. He had mental issues and whatnot that weren't discovered. And he was allowed to purchase weapons and whatnot when the state should have said, no, you cannot get weapons. Which, this is a very common issue and common debate. And even a common problem. We're just looking at weapons causing it, when really we should be looking at people who are causing the issue because of their sick, delusional minds, when really the state should have done better and prevented them from getting their hands on weapons and them causing harm. So, yeah, another example that's out the window. So, with these arguments being made, I'm sure it's pretty fair to ask, or a lot of people will be like, oh, Max, why? You're just pinning me even more blame. No. I'm not pinning more blame in this particular issue. In fact, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the heart of the matter itself, like everyone should be doing, because, especially with media nowadays, it's very easy just to basically take someone's word for it and believe it without digging a bit deeper into the situation. 2020 has especially taught this matter, which is a whole nother subject. But to sum up this little commentary, scapegoating has many more effects. It's not just the people or families in question you're affecting and the victims. You're also pinning blame on other people, like the musicians who have to face criticism and try to defend themselves for something they didn't cause, to gun companies having to defend themselves, saying, we didn't kill these particular people, rather the person in hand of our weapon did it. You should be looking at them.
And sick individuals that choose to hide themselves within really close-knit communities like the furry fandom and heavy music fandom, simply trying to deflect blame to avoid their disgusting consciousness, and making others appear as if they do the same disgusting things.
The point I'm trying to make here is scapegoating is very bad. It affects not just one particular subject, it affects everyone. And it's about time that we look beyond the surface and we dig deeper, because let's be real here. Scapegoating sells, but scapegoating scratches very little of the truth, and it also sucks as people's stories become unbelievable and are unbelievable. Anyway, thank you all for watching my little commentary / rant. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.